Hello, my name is Larry Brown. For the longest time, whenever I would go to meetings, I would say, "Hi, my name's Larry, I'm an alcoholic." I started drinking when I was really early, really young. I remember my dad inviting me to help myself to the cooler as long as I brought him one. And the alcohol took front and center in my high school years. But it's always been a part of my life. I married my high school sweetheart whenever I was 18, and she developed Huntington's disease, which is a hereditary neurologic disorder. And as she became symptomatic and it started affecting everybody's lives, it was affecting the kids' lives, it was affecting my life. And every time I would try to talk to Delina about, let's get a medical diagnosis and let's start treating this, because she grew up watching her dad with it, she didn't want to face it in her own body. And eventually alcohol took front and center again. It slowly became the tool that I used. It was my way of escaping. It was my way of avoiding all the hassle until it escalated. And right around 2011 on Columbus Day, I had my first arrest. And as a police officer with, at that time, about 20 years on the job, I had a lot of people telling me, "You're not an alcoholic, you just have stress in your life." And then in 2015, I had moved back to Lawrence County, and I was driving from Columbus to Lawrence County every day, twice a day. And my joke was it wasn't that bad of a drive whenever I was drinking the whole way home. And when somebody told me that I had a problem, I would kind of say, "Well, you think that was bad? Wait till tomorrow. I'll show you what bad is." I was very resistant to any kind of help. I had plenty of people offering me help, and I wasn't ready for it yet. And then on February 27th, 2015, I was driving home. But that night was different to where I didn't really care that night. And my next memory of that drive home was that I was being pulled over really within 2 miles of my house. And I remember as I was being placed on the ground, I looked behind me and I couldn't understand why there were 14 cruisers behind me. So for 6 consecutive days, I was on the 6 o'clock news, 6 in the morning news, and the noon news. I was on the Associated Press, the AP wire, as Columbus police officer flees Cold Grove police. I made national news. And it was very humbling, and it was really the only thing that could have humbled me. And I pled guilty to it the first chance I got because I was convicted. I was telling the arresting officer that I wasn't doing anything wrong when I clearly heard a voice tell me, "Stop lying. Stop your lying." And that's when I just started taking responsibility for what I did. I had called my grievance rep. I had called my supervisor. And then I realized I hadn't called God yet. So I surrendered, completely and wholly surrendered. And that was the only thing that was going to change the way that I was living my life. And whenever I got assigned to county jail, they didn't want to put me in general population. They said that it wasn't going to be safe for me or for the inmates that I'm in there with. And they were wanting to put me in solitary confinement just so that I wouldn't be in danger. And I told them that I did not want to be in there, that I couldn't stand my own company that long, and that I felt that I was supposed to be in there with everybody. I had people come to me and say, "I can't believe you're a police officer and you're in here. And I said, well, I'm not in here because I'm a police officer. I'm in here because I'm a drunk. I'm not here undercover. I'm here because I'm a criminal. I'm here because I'm broken. And I'm here to tell you that there's a way that we can all change.
His daddy was an angry man, been dead 10 years, but he still hears him. He passed out hurt like a family joke, with a broken down truck and a box of tools. With a broken down truck and a box of tools. That old truck, it ain't ran in years. He can't pop the hood without pushing back tears. The two-tone collar still has its sheen. With a broken down truck, he'll never be free. With a broken down truck, he'll never be free. Never be free. He called a friend, they worked all night, till the engine turned over and the spark timed right. A timing like some call a gun can make an engine run right or a grown man run. Can make an engine run right or a grown man run. A grown man run. Can a little boy's daddy still make amends? Can daddy's little boy let go of him? With the parking brake on, he'll never know. Yeah, it's time to take it on down the road. It's time to take it on down the road. And take it down the road. It's the only way you'll know. A little grinding third, but it runs real good. He got the truck running when his daddy never could.
I remember my dad inviting me to help myself to the cooler as long as I brought him one. And ultimately, we used the tools that were shown, and that was the first tool that I saw for dealing with stress. If I could tell the younger Larry anything, it would be, it's all about love. We have to love God and then love everybody else, but we have to include ourselves in that. I hated myself so much that I just didn't care. And I would tell myself to care. I wish that I had the love in my heart now. I wished I had it back then. I could have helped so many more people. Instead of driving around looking for somebody to catch, I would have been driving around looking for somebody to help.
think you